Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Sokhnadiarra Ndiaye, and I am a junior in the College of Arts and Sciences. I major in Africana studies, and my focus is on real estate. So today I'm talking to you from Accra, Ghana. I know, I just pointed to a wall. So how do you know that I'm in Ghana? You don't. You have to trust me. So I'm spending actually my full semester in Ghana, and so inshallah, the next time you see me is going to be in the spring semester. So today I want to talk to you about Gambia because I spent an amazing 2 months in Gambia studying real estate with two real estate companies. I went there because I did not know whether or not I wanted to do real estate later on in life. Oftentimes, when I hear about Africa and the development of Africa, it is more so people who are not Africans who are driving this conversation. Before I talk about career, I would like to talk about the social aspect of my experience, as well as the host family that I was with, because it really informed every other experience I had in Gambia. I loved my host family. They were amazing. They were genuine, and I loved them. And I'm not saying this just because I'm on camera. This is not an advertisement. I loved being with them. I had a host mom and a host dad, and I had four young girls in my house, as well as a younger brother. And so all of us were more or less around the same age. And so you can just imagine the girl talks that we were having. Part of what I really liked about the host family was the culture that we had of always communicating. And so it felt weird to always be in my room if there were people in the house. And so we would often, especially in the evening, we would go downstairs and we would eat together from the same bowl. We would talk to each other. We would drink evening tea. We would eat mangoes. We would laugh. We would kid. We would look at the stars. Everything in between. Being together was a big part of place. And so I really enjoyed it. There's also the fact that not only were we enjoying life in the house, we go to the restaurant, we go to the hotel, we go to a barbecue, we go here, we go to the ice cream shop. We had a very, very nice experience together, and I very much connected with them in a sense of a sisterhood and a daughter, as opposed to simply being a stranger who is going to come in and leave your house at some moments. I can go on and on about the social aspects in the host family, which I can, but unfortunately, I don't have the time. But I will say that it made me much more comfortable to be able to explore other aspects of my internship in Gambia. And so the career aspects was just amazing. I shiver just thinking about the opportunity that I had in Gambia. It was far beyond what I expected it to be. So I wanted to go into real estate because I wasn't sure if it's something I would do later on in life. And so I thought my time in Gambia would be the opportunity for me to explore it. But the knowledge that I got, the experience that I got, the network and the connections that I had was far beyond what I expected. It exceeded any expectation I had. Because I expected to sit like most internships and write and read and read and write and perhaps do the busy work that the people in the office don't want to do. And not that that is bad because you will still learn, but that is what I expected. However, the internship ended up being so hands on. I experienced more than I sat. I walked more than I read. I talked more than I wrote. And it was amazing. It taught me in ways, I soaked up in ways that I would have never done otherwise. The company that I was working with is called Blue Ocean Properties. They immediately took me in as the youngest person in the room. They decided that I was going to be like a sponge to whom they were going to throw as much information as possible to while still feeding me as well, which they did very well. And so when I first entered, I told them that because I don't know much about real estate, unfortunately, that I'm not sure which team I would actually start with. And so they had me rotate around the company. So the first team that I worked with was a project management team, which was so interesting because they were the ones that were managing the properties and the lands and the apartments and homes that were currently being built and bought. And so part of their job was that every day they would go to the fields in which they were building the homes, they were building the apartment complexes, and they would see how that work was being done, what needed to be added, what needed to be fixed, what home was complete, before they come back and report it to the CEO or the managing director. So I would follow them every day in the scorching hot sun, getting tanner every day beautifully, mashallah. I would be in that 20 to 30-minute car ride with them, asking them any and every question I can, listening as they just lectured and preached and talked to me about all information. When we get there, they would speak with the construction workers. They would go up and down the buildings. And through following them as if I was their shadow, I learned so much about how do you interact with people who are perhaps working for you. How do you interact with people who you are working for? How do you look at a home? What does construction look like? How do you make sure that you are having a holistic knowledge as a leader without necessarily having to have in-depth knowledge of every single thing that your teammates are doing? I learned so much about how building construction works from the foundation all the way up to the finishing touches. I learned about how do you market it and how do you tell your information in a way that is truthful but also digestible to people. And so I learned so much from being with the project management team. I saw the bungalows that they built, the story buildings that they built. The homes were absolutely stunning, and I will show you just a bit, but I must say, I'm very sad on your behalf because if only you saw these homes in person. Outside of the project management team, I work with the sales team and I also work with the accounting team and the marketing team. And I was able to learn more about how, in person, how they're able to market the homes, how do they speak about it, and how do you make sure that you are developing a genuine relationship with your clients in a way that is not just about the homes, but also understanding that buying a home is very important to a lot of people, that it is an important stage in their lives. And so I learned all of these from physically being with them. But part of what made it so memorable was that the managing director took me under his wing as well. And so I followed him everywhere. You would think that I was his shadow. When he went to have meetings, when he went to look at the homes, when he was having these conversations, I was with him. I was learning from him how to be a team leader, how to learn how to listen, how to pick land before you even begin to build. I learned about what are the things that you should look for when you're deciding on buying land. What are the things you should think about when you're building a home, when you're building an apartment complex? What should you focus on in terms of your demographic? How do you pick who your market is? I learned so much. My experience was a textbook and it was amazing. He took me under his wing and he made sure that I knew everything. I wrote to the point where my pen ran out of ink and I had to get another pen. This internship gave me access to an industry that is known for being small and tight-knit. And I'd only left with a new family, but also friends and mentors across the real estate industry. I know now the value that real estate has in the development of a country, especially with the increasing population and urbanization taking place across the continent. I am inspired and now have a clear vision of what I wish to do in life, as well as the steps necessary to become a property developer in pink. I've gained insight into the real estate industry in Gambia. I was really surprised at how much physical labor it required. But I came to learn that this physical labor, this construction, was actually a very big job provider. Real estate, like fire, is simply a tool. It can be used to exacerbate the inequities that exist within a system, or it can provide housing to those who need it the most. In all cases, real estate is vital to the development of a country. The real estate industry in Gambia showed me the spirit it takes to build a nation. I plan on delving further, inshallah, into other nations across the continent and hopefully clarify my own future in utilizing land development as a tool for progress. No matter how long I take to describe to you my experience in Gambia, no word can explain how transformative it was. You just have to take my word for it. I wish everyone a good day, and I hope that eventually I'll be able to see you all in person. Until then, stay away from the cold.